Yo, man, sometimes it's like, I be struggling, but I just keep going. And you gotta keep going, too. No matter what you do.
Remi plays striker alongside Tree. They've had a great partnership up top for many years now. This is probably like the 6th year that they've played up top together.
Tree plays pretty much anywhere the Shadys need him on the pitch. He plays striker most of the time. Tree's responsible on the field for a lot of the goal scoring and goal creation, I would say.
Yeah, Tree Grazer, he takes on more of the target man role for the Shadys.
Remi, he plays more outside, I've noticed, than in the middle, which is, I think, a nice added dimension for our team, which I like strikers to do that anyways, because with our offense, a lot of times we're crossing an end, and that really helps us get around the end, I feel like.
Yeah, Remi, like I said, always has good supportive runs in behind Tree as the target man. He's more of a quicker striker. Also has a good eye for goal from distance every now and again. He's ambitious with his shots, takes chances, which some people might discount and take off, but sometimes to create chances and good goal scoring opportunities, sometimes the highlight reel goals, you have to take chances most others wouldn't.
But I think Tree really brings a lot to the table, because the amount of times I've seen him just be able to dribble through defenses, it just amazes me, sitting back there and watching it. But I definitely think still is times where Tree tries to do too much, but it's whenever he gets on those goal scoring runs. But you can't really hate on it because he does have a lot of production.
I would say Tree does a great job of scoring goals. A great job at getting opportunities to shoot. But again, I think he stretches himself too far sometimes. Just shots that are questionable. Trying to dribble through 3 defenders, and not even making dribble moves. Sometimes he just loses it. Looks a little bit ridiculous. Needs to cut his hair.
Tree sometimes likes to have the ball at his feet a bit too much, and he just overall likes to be the focal point of the attack, which isn't a bad thing as your striker, but at times I think Tree having the ball at his feet for that long can hurt the team. Remi and BP always provide great support runs, and sometimes Tree doesn't always recognize those and put the ball where it needs to be. Sometimes he's a little bit overambitious with his shooting, and the skill moves he likes to try to attempt doesn't always pull them off. But Tree overall does have a great scoring record for the Shady, so you can't knock him too much.
Tree, selfish sometimes. Love when he's getting goals though. Love it. Same with Remi.
Remi's one of the 3 captains on the Shadys. Tree's sort of the emotional, spiritual captain and leader of the team, while Remi handles most of the tactical business for the Shadys.
Tree, I would say, is also the emotional leader of the team. The team looks to him for a lot of pregame speeches for big games. He tries to keep everyone's head screwed on straight most of the time.
But when we're on the pitch, we like to have one of the CPUs be captain, so it keeps all of our egos in check, and it doesn't let anyone be bigger than the team.
Yeah, I know Brother Pritchard thinks that Remi is an egotistical person at times.
I would say that Remi's selfish sometimes on the field.
I haven't really known Remi to be too egotistical. At times he, like I said, he's a bit ambitious and thinks pretty highly of his abilities, which confidence isn't a bad thing. I don't think he's too overly egotistical though.
We got some egos. I don't think they get in the way of the play that often. Sometimes ego on ego, it doesn't really end well, but we're a pretty good bunch. Like I said, there's a couple egos, but it doesn't really affect us that much.
Yeah, Tree is a very vocal person about his statistics and how he leads the team in goals and assists this season, actually. Having an ego problem, it wouldn't surprise me if other members of the Shadys also mentioned that Tree had an ego problem.
Well, I would say there's both a selfish issue with both our strikers, Tree and Remi. My one word advice to them would be, just give up the ball. Just give it up, man. What are you doing?
I definitely can see the competition between those two. I see each of them striving to outdo the other at times, whenever it becomes more about a we than us.
For the most part, Tree and Remi coexist pretty well. There have been known to be severe verbal spats and arguments. Hasn't escalated to physical arguments at times. You always hate to see two teammates fighting physically on the field and sometimes off the pitch between games in the locker room. But I think they've ironed out their differences well and they coexist pretty easily.
I just like to see them make the right play, not worried about stats, just make the right play and play together, and that's when we're at our best. But you can see the competition between those two and see each of them wanting to outdo the other.
Yeah, I think overall the Tree and Remi saga is helpful to the team because they're two great strikers that can get the job done. Tree may have more goals, but Remi is known as an unselfish player who at times just wants to do things on his own too. So I think they coexist pretty well. Tree's kind of more the egotistical person, and Remi just kind of runs off a tree and lets Tree do his thing at times.
They clash at times, but when both of them are working well, it's definitely a sight to see. If I had to describe Remi, he's a very outgoing player. He's emotional at times, but everything he does is sort of for the team.
Tree's never loved a girl. Tree's never loved a guy. He's never loved anybody in his life. The only thing that Tree's really loved in his whole life is the game of soccer.
These are the Sugarland Shadys.